Nigel Farage confronted the BBC yesterday in a heated dispute over allegations of racism, turning the inquiry back on the broadcaster with accusations of hypocrisy. For weeks, the Reform UK leader has been pressed by BBC journalists about claims that he made racist remarks during his school days, claims he firmly denies. During an explosive press conference, Farage accused the BBC of operating with double standards, arguing that if the corporation intends to judge his behavior as a 1970s schoolboy by contemporary moral standards, it should also issue a sweeping apology for significant portions of its historical programming. He noted that many of the broadcaster's shows from the 1970s and 1980s would today be condemned as racist, sexist, or homophobic. He specifically argued that if the BBC insists on applying the cultural expectations of the present to the past, then it should formally apologize for airing programs like It Ain't Half Hot Mum, which many critics now view as racially insensitive. At one point, he even threatened a complete personal boycott of the BBC, declaring, "I'm done with you. Until you apologize, I'm not speaking to you."
And before we continue, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, do well to click that subscription button so you can stay updated with the latest news when we release. Okay, let's continue.
A senior Reform UK source later reinforced the message, stating that Farage intended to take a substantial rest from the biased broadcasting corporation. Farage had originally called the press event to discuss what he described as Labour's politically motivated delays to local elections. But the mood shifted sharply when a BBC reporter revisited previous claims about racist comments allegedly made by Farage as a schoolboy. Farage reacted angrily, stating, "The double standards and hypocrisy of the BBC are absolutely astonishing." The Reform leader, now 61, highlighted the cultural climate of his youth, pointing out that during the period in question, the BBC itself broadcast shows such as the black and white minstrel show, It Ain't Half Hot Mum, Till Death Us Do Part, and comedy acts featuring Bernard Manning, performances that are now widely regarded as wholly unacceptable. He said, "At the very time I'm accused of making these remarks, your most popular weekly program was the black and white minstrels. The BBC was perfectly happy to use blackface. You used it in It Ain't Half Hot Mum as well." He then referenced the controversial character Alf Garnett, saying, "Do you remember the word he used to describe Marigold on primetime national television? I won't repeat it because you will run a headline claiming that I said it." Television back then was completely different. Farage went on to cite several major BBC sitcoms and variety shows that were enormously popular in their time, but would not be tolerated today. The black and white minstrel show, which dominated primetime television from the late 1950s until 1978, featured music hall numbers and country songs performed by entertainers often wearing blackface. At its height, the program attracted 21 million viewers weekly. Notably, comedian Lenny Henry became the show's first black performer in 1975, joining at the age of 16. It Ain't Half Hot Mum, broadcast throughout the 1970s, portrayed Indian characters in stereotypical ways, frequently depicting them as dim-witted or subservient. White actor Michael Bates played the role of Rangi Ram in brownface, a practice that modern audiences and critics now widely reject. Till Death Us Do Part, which ran between 1966 and 1975, centered on the rants of the fictional bigot Alf Garnett. Although actor Warren Mitchell, a Jewish socialist, insisted the satire was meant to expose racist attitudes, the show nonetheless featured language and scenes that would now be viewed as deeply offensive. Farage also cited the BBC's frequent collaborations with controversial comedian Bernard Manning, whose jokes about minority groups would today likely be condemned under modern broadcasting standards. Farage said, "Homophobia? The BBC was more than willing to put Bernard Manning on national television, telling jokes that today would probably result in a police knock at the door and a 31-month prison sentence. I cannot tolerate the double standards of the BBC lecturing me about something allegedly said 49 years ago, while they themselves were airing material far worse." He concluded this point by demanding, "I want an apology from the BBC for virtually everything you broadcast during the 1970s and 1980s. Sir Lenny Henry, who began his career on the black and white minstrel show, has previously criticized the tone and content of several shows from the 1960s and 70s, including Till Death Us Do Part. He once said, "Rather than reflect the reality of a multi-ethnic Britain, these shows lean toward a xenophobic approach, highlighting differences rather than similarities." BBC reports on Farage's school years. The BBC has recently given extensive coverage to allegations from some of Farage's former schoolmates at Dulwich College. They claim he used racist and anti-Semitic language, with one alleging that Farage told him Hitler was right. Another claimed Farage made similar remarks repeatedly. Yesterday, BBC Radio 4 presenter Emma Barnett asked Reform Deputy Leader Richard Tice about Farage's alleged relationship with Hitler. Farage reacted furiously when later asked about the exchange, calling the framing despicable, disgusting, beyond belief. He also questioned whether such journalism contributed to declining public trust, noting that about 500,000 Britons refuse to pay the license fee each year. Farage reiterated that he never used racist language with malicious intent, insisting that any offensive comments from those days were part of the broader culture of 1970s schoolboy banter. To support his position, he read a letter from another former Dulwich College student, a Jewish classmate, who defended him. "I was a Jewish pupil at Dulwich College at the same time as Nigel. While there was plenty of macho, tongue-in-cheek banter, yes, sometimes offensive, it was never malicious. I never once heard him racially abuse anyone. Had he done so, he would have been disciplined." The letter continued, "Back in the 1970s, the culture was very different. Many boys said things they would regret today. Nigel stood out, but he was neither aggressive nor racist." Farage later claimed that he has received plenty of similar messages in recent days, saying he has personally seen at least half a dozen. One former student, Peter Ettegi, also Jewish, presented a contrasting account, claiming Farage repeatedly approached him at school saying Hitler was right. Richard Tice strongly dismissed the allegations against Farage, declaring, "These people are lying. This is made-up twaddle by those who don't want Nigel to be Prime Minister." The BBC did not comment when asked. Labour Party chair Anna Turley said, "Nigel Farage can't keep his story straight. Instead of demanding apologies, Farage should apologize to anyone affected by his alleged remarks." A Conservative Party spokesperson added that Farage's tirade demonstrated internal chaos within Reform UK, stating he used a press conference to rant about historic allegations he has now effectively admitted were true. Reform received the largest ever donation from a living donor. Amid the controversy, the Electoral Commission disclosed that Reform UK has received the largest single political donation in British history from a living individual. Wealthy businessman Christopher Harborne contributed £9 million to the party over the summer. Harborne, who resides in Thailand, is known as a prominent cryptocurrency investor and aviation entrepreneur. He has previously donated significant sums to the Brexit Party as well as the Conservative Party during Boris Johnson's leadership. Starmer accused of dictatorship after postponing elections. The political conflict deepened when it emerged that Prime Minister Starmer's government had postponed 4 major mayoral elections Reform UK believed it had a strong chance of winning. Critics labeled Starmer a dictator and accused him of running scared from the electorate. Even members of the Labour Party expressed disapproval. A former Labour minister argued that the government had a moral and legal obligation to proceed with the polls as promised. Downing Street refused to apologize, insisting the delay was necessary because the new combined county authorities were not yet fully operational. Reform Deputy Leader Richard Tice told the BBC, "Generally, it is dictators who cancel elections. 7.5 million people are being denied the right to vote.